I don't want to start doing this often, uploading several times a day, but it's Warframe update time and there's no stopping. So let's talk about the Oberon rework. His smite is now supposed to skill, but on the later levels it still doesn't do enough damage, and on the earlier levels, well, you probably would have killed them anyways. I guess you can kill them a bit later now, but it's still mostly useful for the irradiation. Hallowed Ground is now a circle in front of him instead of a rectangle, and it's very hard to see, hence why I went with a white energy color so you can actually see it. It irradiates enemies that step on top of it, and it will give you a armor buff if you cast Renewal on top of it. And the allies standing on top of the Hallowed Ground will also get the Renewal armor buff. So you can see the buff duration for the armor buff is 20 seconds. That will only start ticking down as soon as the initial heal wears off. Renewal now expands in a wave similar to Molecular Prime, and it will only start draining energy as soon as an ally is actually affected by it. The heal won't stop, well, healing either. As soon as the ally reaches max health, it will still stay on them. For those 4 seconds it stays on them. It won't be very... yeah, the duration is a bit short for that to be actually useful, I think. Reckoning now sort of scales. It gets some extra damage if the target's irradiated, so it scales with Hallowed Ground and Smite, which is alright, but it isn't gonna do massive damage all of a sudden. Other than that, he's still pretty much the same frame. I don't think they changed much. Well, his passive ability has been changed. Your pet will now get a free revive when it goes down for the first time, which is pretty nice. They will also get a small health, armor and shield buff. So the procs from his Hallowed Ground will actually kill low level enemies, which is kind of funny. But you might as well just, you know, I reckon you can use that ability. Stupid puns. Anyways. So, as you can see, not an awful lot of damage against these butchers. I was hoping it would do more, but they're more effective at killing themselves than at actually getting damaged by smite. They will also get irradiated by my Hallowed Ground, and I'll get a small armor buff, as you can see on the top right. So yeah, that really is about it for the Oberon rework, I think. I was expecting a bit more of a change and not, well, this. They haven't changed much, it's just quality of life maybe? Yeah, it's a bit more than that, but I don't think his rework has changed up the game enough for this to be now suddenly be an amazing frame. Unless I've missed something. I've tried smite on single targets as well, and it still didn't do an awful lot, so I really don't know. This is the build I currently have on my Oberon. This is decent power strength, so as you can see, the smite is just damage isn't enough, I think, for it to be useful as a damage ability on the later levels. And it probably wasn't meant for that in the first place. So yeah, not even his Reckoning will do enough damage on the later levels. And his heal won't be enough heal on the later levels. I seriously don't know what to do with this frame. He just destroys lower levels, and on later levels he's a bit of a poor excuse for his CC frame. So yeah, that's what I think about this rework. I was expecting a bit more, to be honest. So yeah, that's about it, I guess. Bye.